Hello, we are coming to you live, and by we, I mean me, Jasmine Dukes, coming to you live tonight, Friday, March 21st. It's my sister's 25th birthday. Everybody go tell Jocelyn Dukes happy birthday. She's 25 today. She's out in San Fran at the Game Developers Conference doing her thing. Shout out to you. It's 6:37 p.m. I'm 7 minutes behind schedule. But what does that even matter? I'm here. It's Friday. I didn't have to work. It was a beautiful spring day. And now I can calm down and just do what I'm here to do, which is just work. It's just work. It's just artwork. I have the intention of working on these 3 pieces that I started several months ago. Several months ago. I did one painting at a time, very slowly, layer by layer. I wish I knew the exact time that I started, but it's been several months since I started this process. And if you consider the fact that this includes the linoleum cut print that I did back when my son was only like 3 or 4 months old, you could say that this piece has been in progress for quite a while, several months. But there is no point in rushing an artwork. I'm coming to find that even though I just had that big blurb about how much time it has taken for me to get back to this place, I'm finding, and I am doing my best to come to terms with the fact that making my artwork is going to take more time realistically than what my mind is trying to push me forward, trying to push me towards, which in some ways I could be working faster, harder, stronger, with more focus. But also I have to give myself grace and come to terms and come to a level of peace about the progress that I'm making. And it's progress nonetheless. So I don't want to yap the whole time and then end up losing my focus and losing the point of me being here today. But I want to start by at least showing you these 3 pieces and where I'm at with them. So I first started by painting on the background of this acrylic paper. And I have a couple of videos so you can see it before I actually printed on them. So I just painted on this acrylic paper. Here, let me see. I don't know if this is necessary, but I'm going to show you because I have it, right? So it's just like very simple acrylic paintings. Very much like what I typically do, but I intentionally left space for me to go back in and print on top of the painting. And this is the very first one that I did. It's so hard to see the underpainting, but that's kind of the point, is I wanted it to have this layered effect. Like I wanted the painting to have its own life underneath, the print to have its own imagery on top, and then they sort of like blend and meld together and kind of confuse the eye, and sometimes the painting pulls through and then the print pops up and like it kind of goes in and out, almost like an illusionary type of image. That's the first one I did. There's many more layers on here than these other 2, and quite honestly I don't remember which of these I did next, but that doesn't quite matter, I suppose. So this is the second one. And I will say that this is the first painting I did and the first print that I did. And you can see how I should have done a practice print when I was doing this, and I didn't. And that was my mistake because the print just didn't come out as clearly as it could have. It's very grainy, but it adds to the texture, it adds to the piece itself, and I can appreciate that. At first, I was like, Jasmine, why didn't you do a test print? This painting is ruined. This is not how you imagine this artwork to be. And then I had to sit down with myself and be like, listen, yeah, you made a mistake. You should have done a test print before printing on the actual artwork. However, it's part of the process, and you can make it work to your advantage, make it make sense, give it meaning, find something to connect with the mistake. So that's my rationalization of why that one looks much less bold. Whereas like the lines in this one are much darker and bolder, a lot less grainy. It looks like a much better print. The painting is coming underneath, but I left the middle section of this much more clear versus the first one. You see, like, I guess it's still, yeah. But these two are very different from this one, in which I took the center approach. Like the plant in focus is in the very center, which really confuses the printed image on top, which really makes you have to look a little bit closer at what lines are going where. But the point of this today, or I guess my focus today, is essentially to extend the imagery. When I painted these backgrounds, it was with the intention that this printed image was going to be expanded to cover the entire paper. So granted, the linoleum block print that I did was only 9 by 12, and it only fits so much of the paper. But I did that with the intention of extending it. And so that's what I'm going to do today. That's what I'm going to attempt to do today. Now, part of me is like, okay, do I sit here with a pencil and like try and make sense of where I want these lines to go and how I want these lines to look? Or do I just say, fuck it, and get a paintbrush and just start extending the lines? I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. And I guess I only say that because I made a mistake on this first one. And I don't like making mistakes. I don't like the feeling of making mistakes. I don't like the feeling of something not being how I imagined it, even when I'm the one creating it. And I feel very resistant to trusting the process, very resistant to just see what happens and kind of like, I don't know, it's almost hypocritical of me because sometimes I'll be like, just go with the flow and see what happens and just sit down and spend the time and flex your creativity and just don't think about it, just do it. But then I'll get into my own art making practice and I tighten up and I restrict myself, and it's almost like I freeze until I know exactly what I'm going to do and how. And that really limits my potential to create something greater than I ever imagined. And that's something that I need to work on. So with that being said, I am going to get some paint out. Now, I don't know if I should do this in acrylic or this gouache. Let me do a little test, right? I didn't do a test on the print, but I am going to pull out my little sketchbook to see. And I do need to play some tunes. I want to play some tunes. I'm just gonna use this page. So I have black acrylic and I have black gouache. Let's see. All right, I am gonna focus myself for a second. I might get silent. I might start blabbering. I don't know. However, I need a little bit of music and I need to turn off this incense stick. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. I love the smell. I love the vibes that the incense give off. But quite honestly, I feel like I'm choking. I don't feel like I have clear ventilation. I would love to open up the windows, but I'm not gonna do that. It'll be too noisy. What are we gonna listen to? What do you want to listen to? What do I want to listen to? No music. We're gonna take it back to 2015. We're gonna play Kalila, Cut For Me Deluxe. Okay? Am I connected to the speaker? Yes. Unless anybody has any recommendations or I think of something else, we're going with Kalila. Kalela. I never say it right. You see my paper? Yes, you can. Paintbrush. Focus, Jasmine, focus. This is a live stream, but you're in the studio and you have to work. You have to focus. Can't be all fun and games. Yeah. Let's see. Can't be fun and games. So because I didn't get a clear print, I kind of want to mimic that grainy texture. I love a tiny brush. I love a tiny brush. You want to see my favorite brush? Let me turn this down. I want to listen to music and then I want to talk. I want to focus and then I want to show you my brushes. This is my favorite brush. This brush I've probably had, God, I want to say 10 years. And once it's wet, it'll like, where's the camera? There we go. I don't know. I couldn't tell you the size. It's all rubbed off. The paint of the brush has rubbed off from so much use, but I love this brush. However, I don't think that's the brush for today. Let's see. I'm not sure. Acrylic is gonna be better. Or the gouache. This is not gonna work either. It's loose. That's annoying. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with gouache. I like the shape of the brush. It's like more square. This one is more rounded. However, it does stay wet longer. Listen, I could be here all day testing brushes, testing paints. Just go for it. Just do it. I feel like I need to stand up. I'm starting here on this edge. I'm so afraid of messing up, and I really don't like that feeling. Like, I don't know. Like, there's this internal, like, panic that it's not necessary. Like, I could tell myself that it's not necessary to feel this way, but I still feel this way, and I don't know why that is. I think I just have like a lot of internal judgments and criticisms for myself about the way that things have evolved for me regarding my art making process, and like how it was never, like I almost just said it's never supposed to be this way, like, and I just keep thinking back to college me with all the time to just make artwork, you know, like my only responsibility was going to class and doing well enough in those classes to like earn my credits and eventually get my degree. But outside of that, I had all the free time in the world to paint. And boy, did I paint. I painted a whole lot. And it was very easy for me because that transition from high school to college was pretty simple. Like, it was pretty easy. It didn't feel like that much of a difference except for the fact that I wasn't home. And like making artwork with the time that I had in college was easy. And so I could kind of, that transition from home working and school, high school painting and art making to college art making was very smooth. And so I didn't really see that much of a shift in my art making process. But life is very different now, and my art making process is dramatically different. And sometimes it's hard to contend with. It's like hard to accept that things are not the way they used to be. And it's like I keep fighting myself to return to a place that I no longer belong, that I no longer fit into. The other thing too, with the gouache that's helpful is that if I don't like a line I made, I can kind of wash it out. And I don't want to get too caught up in these lines. I kind of want to like lay a foundation of the extension and move on. One thing I'm seeing though is that the gouache is kind of like sitting on top of the acrylic paint that's already on the paper. So it's not necessarily absorbing into the paper the way that the paper is designed for, but that's just part of the process. This is so much more confusing. Like the idea of this being confusing to somebody looking at it, like once it's finished up on the wall, and it being this illusion of like background image, forward image, and it kind of blending together. It's happening to me right now as I'm working on this, and it's confusing me. It's confusing me. It's so, I don't know, it feels funny. It's like I'm trying to beat myself at something that I am trying to use in a way that's giving off the effect that I'm experiencing, but I don't really want to feel it right now or experience it right now as I'm creating it. Can you hear the chickens in the background? Oh, goodness. Prior to me starting this today, I thought about painting the background and I painted the background. I thought about printing on top of the background, so I printed on top of the background. And I had the thought of, okay, once I'm done printing over the background, I'm gonna extend the print onto the paper. I had that thought, but I didn't actively think about how I was actually going to accomplish that. Or like what I actually wanted the lines to look like as they extended out onto the edge of the paper. I didn't think about that. I didn't think that far about it. And it's actually kind of surprising to me to realize that I didn't think about it, because I feel like I think about everything. I overthink everything. The first half of this live stream already, I've been here for 30 minutes, and probably the first 15 I was overthinking. You can tell me, I'm gonna have to watch it back. From what I remember, like I literally just lived that experience, and I know myself to confidently say that I was probably overthinking this entire like process, you know, and it took me the 15-20 minutes to even get started because of it. And typically, I spend time planning things out. How am I going to execute this thing that I want to do? And so not having a plan is very, very odd. And it's a bit uncomfortable. But that in itself is one of the main reasons why I'm here even doing this, is getting out of my comfort zone, doing something different, kind of like placing myself in a position to be observed, to be witnessed, to be like free to do what I'm doing without, I don't know, hiding myself, showing up and minimizing my experience, minimizing my ability to execute. I do that too much. One like mantra that I've been working by that has been really helpful is working by area. Like rather than looking at the image as a whole and being critical of what the image looks like as a whole, which I tend to do, just focus on working on a single area and make sure that the area that I'm working on, how it's looking, my approach, the material pleases me, right? Like, does it feel good to be working on this in this way? Am I happy with the way that it's looking? Again, not the entire artwork, just a singular area. Just focusing in my eyes, like literally focusing in, dialing in, and focusing on this little area that I'm working on. Not the entire picture, this little area that I'm working on, and making sure that the lines that I'm making, that the texture that the paint is creating and the dryness of the brush and how it's all working together pleases me. Does it please me? Does it bring me a good internal unexplainable feeling that this is right? Or am I bothered by this, right? Like do I feel any sort of negative emotion about this? And if so, why? And if so, how can I shift my process to have the process and the image that I'm working on, the focus point that I'm working on, how can I shift to make it be a pleasurable experience? Because I don't want to sit down and work and be like, I don't know if that looks good. I don't know if I'm doing that right. Or, this feels wrong. Which, to feel that to some degree is what catalyzes the process, what helps you pivot and try something different if necessary. But that's a feeling that I have quite often that I'm trying to mitigate. And by focusing in, it's almost like I take a binoculars and I focus in on what I can see within this circle on the paper rather than the whole thing. And that seems to help. So if I just focus here for a little bit, then progress will be made. And of course, I'll take a step back. I'll hold up the artwork. I know I've already been doing that. I've been referencing the other ones whose prints look better to get a better understanding, but it's so funny how things have shifted in the last 20-30 minutes that I've been on here. How anxious I was in the beginning and how I've just kind of fallen into the flow. This is what I'm working on down here, this little section. Hmm. We gotta play Cherry Coffee. And then we can switch. Hmm. I like to do the karaoke on iTunes. iTunes. I've been saying iTunes lately a lot. Apple Music. I don't know how much I'll pay attention to it, but I like seeing the lyrics. I know you're not here to see me sing, to hear me sing. when this is over, we're gonna listen to her play this acoustically. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Is acoustic and like playing live the same thing? She's got a whole jazz band behind her. Anyways, shut up. I need to figure out a solution for this because I am turning into a hunchback working on this job, working on this job, working on this artwork. My back is starting to hurt. I need something. Then if I hold it up like this, I need the light behind me. Could put it up on the wall somewhere. Maybe I need to play with a different setup for this. My posture. Put it on the wall and work on it. Luckily, this paper is stiff enough I can just hold it. But then there's the problem of the lighting. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm really pleased with that. I am pleased with that. I like the way it looks through a microscope, and I like what it looks like macro, micro, 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 macro. I am quite happy with it altogether. And it's very subtle, but the brush is doing a great job at creating that texture. And I think that acrylic paint that's not allowing it to absorb into the paper is doing a beautiful job of something that I had no idea it would do. So I'm grateful, I guess, for the choices that I made beforehand and how they're impacting this process now, because it's all working out. I didn't anticipate it, but that's part of it. It's not being able to anticipate the effect of what I'm doing in one moment, or not the exact effect anyways. Yeah. I'm gonna start working on this side now. Is it supposed to stop that abruptly? That feels like a new experience. I don't recall it ever stopping like that. Whatever. Sorry, gotta skip. Oof. Hmm. No. Why is it doing that? The songs are changing without fully finishing. That is not how that song ends. Isn't that like a setting? Like how the songs switch? Whatever. Whatever. Yee. Mayday, mayday, mistake, mistake. Get a wet brush. Clear it up. Mayday, mayday. Oh shit. I forgot that was gouache too, and not the ink. I need a baby wipe. Hold on. It's been an hour already. 81 minutes and 57 50 seconds and counting. It's a long time. Hi, people in the chat. All right. I am tired. But it's only 8 o'clock and I have a baby-free night. And I feel good. I feel good to keep going. My back does hurt though, and that's a problem that I've had since I was in high school. That's a problem that I've had since I was a teenager. Having back problems to begin with, and then painting with such bad posture. I used to sit on the floor of my bedroom in high school, like hunched over with the painting up against the dresser. Oh my goodness, and that's how I worked at home. It's just crisscross applesauce on the floor, up against the dresser, hunched over. But I would get these beautiful, beautiful details in my paintings, and it just kept as the details kept getting greater and greater and more detailed, the more I had to hunch over my work, and probably the worse my posture has gotten. But I'm working on it. I'm trying. I realize now in this live stream, in the process of sitting here and focusing in on what I'm working on, my back is starting to hurt and I need to find a solution to this discomfort because I can't keep doing this forever. I've already been doing it for, oh God, how old am I? How long has it been since high school times? Whatever. It's been over 10 years, 13 years, 15 years that I've been painting this way, and I'm only getting older. I'm only getting older. And my mom always tells me, take care of your back. Take care of your core and your back. So I need to stop fucking around and figure out a better way to work. Might need to rearrange my setup so that this can be posted upright and I can work like this. What would really be good is if I got an easel. I have an easel, but it's kind of janky because I've had it since middle school. Little known fact about me, I went to a visual and performing arts middle school, and it was a requirement for us to get a portable easel, and we also got like a smaller art kit, and I still have that bag too that the art kit came in. But I still have that easel, and that was the easel that I used at all of my markets. Excuse me. I used that easel at all of the markets to set up my foam board where I put all the earrings. And I've had that thing since middle school, which was like 08, 09 is when I started middle school, if I remember correctly. So do the math on that. That thing is old, and it has served me well throughout the progression of my creative career and all of my creative endeavors. And so I love that thing so much, and I'll never get rid of it. However, when it comes to taking myself more seriously and protecting my body as I go forward into the future, continuing to create artwork, I think I need a better setup. And part of that is going to be a newer, easel with all the pieces to help me set this up. And I need a board, something to clip this to or tape it to. Let me write that down. Let me write that down in my notebook so I don't forget. Does anybody have music recommendations? Please. I've listened to this album multiple times for multiple weeks, for as long as it's been out, and I love it. And it's almost like a necessary listen for me. However, I'm in need of new music. And one thing that I've been doing lately is going to my library and clicking on songs and clicking shuffle 5 times. So I'll shuffle 5 times and then let the music play from there. Just so I can hear all of the music that I've ever downloaded. You know, a lot of which, most of which I have not listened to in several years. Because typically, like, I listen to the same few artists that I like, or like, whoever I come across. I'll listen to them, and if I really like them, I'll just listen to them on repeat. And I'll go listen to their whole discography on repeat. And nothing else. So I kind of like hyper focus on one artist at a time, or a few artists at a time. Or I'll go back and listen to, like, how we started today, albums from 2015 that I loved in 2015, and it's like the only thing that I listen to now. In 2015, where was I in 2015? I was in college. I was in the tail end of my college experience. I was listening to a lot of music then. Painting a lot then. I wish that I had 2 cameras, and it was this camera that you get this view, and then I have like, ooh, those like, are they Ray-Bans? Those Ray-Ban camera glasses? That would be so awesome if I could like switch between this view and what I'm seeing through my glasses, because I want you to get this view, like this up close view of what I'm seeing. I think it really helped with the understanding of like what I was trying to explain earlier about like my viewpoint and how I've been working on this view versus the entire view. I wish I could like show you what it looks like. I wish I had those. Man, those Ray-Ban glasses would be kind of cool, but I wonder if I could connect them so that both views could be seen at the same time. That'd be cool. I had a high-tech setup, I'd do that. Maybe I can figure it out. These songs, they're transitioning before they're even fully finished, and I don't get that. Is anybody out there reading books? I read 9 books in February and 4 or 5 in January, which is the most books that I've ever read in a very long time, and I'm very proud of myself. I read like 4 different series of Octavia Butler's, and they were all phenomenal, but especially the Geno's wait a minute. What am I trying to say? Lilith's Brood, Xenogenesis is what I'm trying to say. Xenogenesis series. So good. I recommend it. Read it. Okay. What are we going to listen to next? This. What I was getting at is that I need book recommendations. What happened is when the whole TikTok ban thing was going on, I was like, you know what? If and when TikTok gets banned, I'm gonna commit myself to not using it anymore, because I was on that thing all day, all night, sending stuff to my sister, receiving stuff from my sister, laughing crazy laughs, which was really good, and I think really did, like to some degree it was helpful. It was mind numbing in a way that sometimes you just need. And but I told myself when the whole when the whole TikTok ban stuff was going on, I was like, all right, when TikTok gets banned, if it gets banned, I'm just going to stop using it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just like never going to open that app up again. And so I committed to that and I stuck to it. And so when, that message finally popped up on my screen saying TikTok was banned in the US, I was like, all right, well, that's it, folks. And I downloaded the library app at the recommendation, and after much conversation with a friend from work who was reading a lot at the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. We've talked a lot about it. I, have committed to not getting on TikTok anymore, even if it comes back, whatever. So I ended up just like starting reading a lot. I read a lot and I've been really enjoying it. However, I've gotten to a place now where I feel like I need recommendations, or like I don't know, I just don't know what to read next. I read a lot of Octavia Butler's work, and I truly enjoyed it. And it's all science fiction, and I have always loved science fiction. Some of the books that I read when I was a kid, the ones that I remember most vividly is science fiction. My favorite book from childhood is actually The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury, and I vividly remember in elementary school that we read that book and there was an accompanying visual for it, like not quite a movie, but just, I guess, shorts. Like they were short movies to coincide with the the short stories in the book. And I vividly remember this from childhood, and I really like science fiction. I really like what it does to my brain. I really like how it ignites my imagination. So Octavia Butler's Xenogenesis did that for me. Like, and so that is the precedent that has been set. Is like, if I'm gonna read another book, I need it to give me a level of visual, like internally visual stimulation that my brain has not experienced in a long time. Like it's one thing to imagine something, it's one thing to like think about something, and it's another thing to be guided through the world building, you know, and like get minute details that add to a story or that kind of amalgamate into something, into a mental image. I don't know, I like it. I really like it. Excuse me. I really enjoyed it. I need more water. I'll be back. I'm looking back at what I did in the very beginning of this process, and it looks too painterly. Obviously, I am painting, but the idea is to extend the printed image and maintain the look of it being a printed image. And when I first started this, there was still a level of anxiety that I was dealing with that has dissipated now at this point, which I'm grateful for. And I think because of that, I was trying to keep it together. I was trying to make the perfect mark and look good on camera and not make a mistake. Don't fuck it up, Jasmine. But now that I'm a little more clear-headed and just kind of going with the flow, I can see that it's not pleasing me the way that I want it to. So I have the liberty to go back and change it, which is a beautiful thing, and I am going to exercise that right, even if a past self did not allow it to happen. Now, one thing that I was thinking about, I mentioned earlier how, like, I didn't think about how exactly I was going to extend the image. I had thought about extending the image after printing, but didn't think about how exactly I was going to do that. And so now I'm however much 110 minutes is in, and this is where I'm at with this first one out of 3. Now I still have plenty of energy to go. I'm gonna keep pushing, but I think I'm gonna end this live stream now because I've been going for 2 hours and I've gotten to a point where I'm tired of listening to music, and I could sit here in silence, but I don't know, I don't want to sit in silence while live streaming, and I'm sure I would keep talking. I could talk on and off forever, but it's been 2 hours. I'm ready to shut this live stream down and just spend some alone time with myself, watch something on YouTube, and eat a snack. I'm gonna go grab some of my son's goldfish because I need a little snacky snack. And yeah, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made today, and I'm super hyper conscious of the shift throughout the last 2 hours between, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing, this is kind of anxiety inducing, I'm thinking a little bit too much about this process rather than actually going through the process itself, to slowly letting go, loosening up, trusting the process, going with the flow, and focusing in on one little area at a time. And I feel very proud of myself for making that happen today. I'm happy to have been here. It's been a long time since I've live streamed in the studio. I made a commitment to myself to do it at least once a month, and I skipped February, and I am okay with that personally because February is my son's birth month, so I was going through a lot, okay? Emotionally, I was reminiscing and thinking about so many things as it related to my son's birthday, and I was also working on my labor and delivery story, so I'm not going to be upset with myself about that, but I am proud of myself for being here today and having done this today. And I truly do feel more confident in doing this process, and I want to do it in several different realms. So, here in the studio, working on artwork, and also out in the van. Um, but that's going to be a members thing. So if you join my members, you'll be able to see more of this and also me working out in the van and kind of revamping that outside of just the videos that I post. So that's exciting. That's what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm gonna take a second for myself to take a break and eat a snack and hydrate and continue working on this for as long as I feel like I've got energy to do so. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you supporting me by coming here and watching my process and listening to me yap and hopefully getting a laugh out of something and listening to some new music. But yeah, I'm out of here. Bye.